All right, well, and just like that, we're back at Old Faithful, the Fullerton Loop. My first ride in probably 3 to 4 weeks. And if you guys aren't familiar with the Fullerton Loop, you probably are if you're from the area and you're local to the channel right now. But if you're not, I have trail guides on how to do this, so I'm not going to put trail names. This ride is more about me just vomiting up my therapy session about the last few weeks and what I've learned and what I went through a little bit. So onward and upward, people. Let's get the ride started. And while I have you guys, as the loop just starts, a little update life-wise. I'm starting to take on clients for social media marketing. It's my background. It's what I've been doing for the last 10 years on the side of this channel. So if you guys are interested, or if you know anybody, leave a comment. I'll leave my email in the description below and right here on the screen right now. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you're looking for and let's chat. So it'd be nice to have, I have a lot of free time with this channel, to be honest with you. If I'm not making videos, I'm not doing much except for the client work. So let me know if you're interested. That used to be a jump, now it's more of a thingamajig. Still got a couple little dingers here in the Fullerton Loop. Not much though. The Rangers really got rid of most of the fun stuff on this loop. I wouldn't say most of the fun stuff. I mean, people come to this loop now for a cardio workout, getting a nice pedal on the bike, and exactly what I'm doing today. I want to see where the bike takes me today. It's not about the cardio. It's not about the jumps. It's about being on my bike again, feeling the breeze in my face, getting that beautiful greenery that is the winter in SoCal, and just getting on Old Faithful, getting back on the bike, getting on the loop, get familiar with the bike again, and get rid of some of that angst, some of that stress, some of that anxiety that comes from being unproductive, which is what I felt like the last few weeks. I haven't really had a choice but to just kind of not too much. I'll get to the story in a sec. I'll get through this section. Once we get to a little flattened out area, I'll get into what happened. All right, let's get into a little bit. We got a little bit of a, bit of section coming up right here. So basically, I was on the couch about 3.5, 4 weeks ago. It was a week of my birthday. I remember it. I have the date sewn in my head because I remember it being my birthday coming up in like 3 days. So I'm on the couch just watching a show. It's about 4 in the afternoon, rainy day. It's been raining here for quite some time, almost every week here in SoCal. All of a sudden, I got these really rapid heart palpitations, like to the point where you could feel your chest pounding. Like it's noticeable. Like I never felt like that before. So I got a lot of anxiety from it, kind of panicked, stood up, walked over to the door, just looked outside for a second, tried to take a deep breath, and before I knew it, I was waking up on the ground with the table pushed to the side and not knowing where I was, with my dog Pip kind of standing like right next to me, like, what the hell are you doing, Tony? It took me about 5 to 10 seconds to figure out what had happened, that I actually had passed out. Now, I passed out before. I'm just gonna be totally open with you guys. I am on blood pressure medication for my blood pressure. It's a genetic thing. I've been taking them for about 10 years. So I've had it before where I felt faint getting up too quick. Maybe some of you can relate to that. If you're laying down, if you're sitting down for too long, you get up and you feel lightheaded and dizzy. It's kind of a common thing, especially if you're on medication sometimes. This one felt a little different. I didn't remember feeling like the lightheadedness or the dizziness. I just woke up on the ground. Okay, Grissom Park, this is where I bring Pip almost every day. Anyway, I woke up, like I said, on the ground, not knowing where I was, and that's when the panic really set in, because I realized this is not good. This is like a combination that you don't really sit around the house and just chalk up as like, hey, it's whatever. So I called my wife at work, I called my doctor, on my way to urgent care because I needed to get checked out. I didn't know what the hell happened to me. Super scary. They took my EKG at the urgent care, said something didn't seem totally right, and they sent me to the emergency room. They sent me to the emergency room, and I knew what I was in store for. I have a needle phobia, you guys. It's kind of a thing that I've had since I was a kid. So first thing I'm thinking of is that I'm gonna get my blood drawn constantly. It's gonna be a nightmare. I don't know what's wrong with me. Did I have a heart attack? Am I dying? What the hell is going on, Tony? I'm too young to be thinking like that. That's how I felt. A lot of anxiety. So my wife comes back from work. She picks me up. She takes me to the hospital. Get in there finally. They give me an x-ray on my heart, my chest. They do blood work immediately. They set me up to an EKG. And after a couple hours, they tell me they want to keep me overnight. I've never spent a night in the hospital before, so this was a new experience for me. All the while I'm thinking like the hospital's going to figure out what the hell happened to me. At least I'll know that. So I come to terms with they're just doing all the checks to make sure nothing is wrong. And there's theories on what happened to me. I'll get to that in a little bit, but my heart checks out to be okay at the hospital. EKG seems good. Heart seems strong, and the x-rays. They take my blood every few hours. Like I said, nothing really is coming up alarming at all. And I ended up staying overnight. It was I don't know if you guys have ever stayed overnight in a hospital in a situation like this before, but it sucks. It feels like you're in prison a little bit. You know, I know they're there to help, but you're kind of trapped there alone in the middle of the night in this weird place. They woke me up every 4 hours to take my blood. You know, 6 in the morning, that's my alarm bell. So I wait for the cardiologist because I have to meet with a cardiologist. They want me to talk to him and see what he thinks in the morning. So he comes around 11 o'clock, asks me what I think happened. And this is where the story gets interesting because I think my theory is correct on what happened to me. All right, we're gonna take a break for a second because this is the funnest part of the Fullerton Loop right now. And we're gonna hit some single track real quick. Stories to be continued. That's new. Okay. That lip is new. Wonder if there's anything else new. Had a left up here. Get a nice little boost into the trail downward. Yeah, fun section. At least they give you something. They left something on the loop. They didn't tear down that section. Okay, where was I? Talking about when the cardiologist asked me what I think happened, because my heart seemed fine at this point. He went through all the motions with me, asked me all the questions, and he's just like, okay, what's going on? And I said, to be honest with you, I think my lifestyle is a contributor. What I had been doing for the last couple of months without even realizing it until I'm looking back on it now is I'd wake up, go to Starbucks, get a venti iced coffee. I wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink any water. And by like 1 or 2 o'clock, I'd be done with that thing, eat my lunch. And then every other day, I'd probably have a couple of beers around 5 o'clock. Even though I cut down on my drinking, I lost weight. I thought that I was like, oh, because I'm not drinking a 6-pack, I'm doing okay. I'm drinking 2 to 3. But what I was doing with that, not only was I being unhealthy, but I was not hydrating at all. I was going from dehydrating myself with coffee, not drinking because I wasn't thirsty, to drinking beers and even get more dehydrated and not drinking any water. So my theory to him was like, hey, I was not hydrated, fully caffeinated up. And he's like, yeah, being dehydrated will make you dizzy, and if you're that bad, it'll make you faint. You know, like the caffeine could cause a heart palpitation. There's just a number of things. But what he ended up having me do, and the reason I haven't been on the bike in a few weeks, is he had me take home a heart monitor to wear on my heart for 2.5 weeks. So no biking, no exercising, no stimulants, no drinking, no caffeine. So I basically didn't have much to do for that period of time, except have anxiety over, is my heart gonna explode? What's wrong with me? Dear Lord, please don't let me die. You know, like the worst thing in life as far as anxiety goes is to creating things that are negative out of your imagination, people. I don't know if you've ever been there, but if you don't know what's going on with your health and you're kind of waiting in limbo to hear results or to figure out what's going on, it sucks. It just sucks, man. So living like that with anxiety for that long of a period of time, it just wore the hell out of me, mentally exhausted me. And, you know, while I'm at this point in the story, I want to give a special shout out to one of my favorite people, Adam Mock, because we had lunch a couple days a week, talked about things, and it really helped me get out of the house, you know, talk it out, vent a little bit, almost like a little mini therapy session. He's been going through, you know, not similar stuff, but just he's gone through similar stuff in his life. And it's good to have a friend just to kind of, you know, pick at their brain for a little while in the middle of the day. So after the 2.5 weeks was up, I sent the heart monitor back and waited. I waited about a week, more anxiety. What the hell's wrong with me? And I ended up calling the hospital finally to see if the results came back, and they were. So they made me go and pick them up. And turns out the results were good. I mean, normal, no bad stuff on there. From what I can read on the report, everything checked out and the findings checked out, all normal, all the parts of my heart, no like red flags or anything like that. You know, and I want to say this, I don't know. I know a lot of my videos are upbeat, you know. I am a pretty upbeat guy. I have fun on the bike, I have fun in life. But this is one of those occurrences that really kind of changed me in a way. You know, I'm not trying to get all philosophical, but I guess I am a little bit. You know, like there's little wake-up calls in life that you get. I'm no spring chicken anymore. Gotta face the fact I'm middle-aged. You know, I'm in my mid-40s right now. And things don't bounce back like they used to, you know? Like this, even though my heart is fine, and this was like a terrible experience for me, terrible month, happy birthday to me. For what it was, what I'm trying to take back from it, as far as it being a positive, is a definite need in the change of my lifestyle, which has happened, like a very drastic one in many ways. I'll talk to that in a second, but you know, as cliche as it sounds, not to take those days for granted. You know, like, I don't know, you know, like I feel like I'm a poet right now in a way, like I'm a cliched poet, you know, like, or some kind of book that you've read 1,000 times and grew up with, like, you know, like, it is true though. You don't want to take these days for granted. Like, half my life is probably over, and I don't know what, you don't know when it's gonna be over. Every day is a blessing, and it's hard. It really is hard to remember that every single day. We get caught up in our lives. Work is a thing, family, all the good things too that come in, that get in the way of appreciating these days we have while we're alive. You know, and that's what it really brought me back to for the first time, I want to say, in my life. I know I'm getting deep here, guys, but it really was. It's the closest I've felt to, like, hey, maybe I had a heart attack. Maybe there's something really wrong here, Tony. You know, maybe. My mind went into places that it's never been before. And it freaked me out, because the reality of it is, who knows? That could be true, and it could be not true today, but it could be true another day, 10 years, 20 years from now, who knows? But it brought me back to, like, being more present in my life. I'm not quitting drinking completely, but I'm only drinking in social occasions. No more beers on the couch. Only very seldom times you'll see me with one. If you see me at Sky Park or something like that, oh, this is cool. Yeah, I'll probably have a beer, but you're not gonna see me drinking beers at the house by myself anymore. Because that's what I was doing. I was living bad. Living bad leads to bad things. Especially like, I was telling my doctor one of these times, like, hey, I've been living like I think I'm still 20 years old. When you're 20 years old, you can do whatever you want. It feels like you're young, you're healthy, you know, you're just able to tolerate more. You're hungover, you could still go out and be productive, this and that. I don't know where I'm going on this tangent, you guys, but I'm vomiting up a big soup right now. And hopefully some of you can relate, because I feel a little vulnerable talking about this stuff to thousands of people, but I trust you guys. I've been doing this channel long enough to know that you guys out there are good souls. And 99% of the comments I get are positive, so I'll take the 1%. I got a thicker skin than I used to, so there it is. Really fast section of the loop right here. It's always kind of fun. There's some ruts out there. Wow, it's so green out. This is usually dirt brown in the summertime, which a couple months from now it will be, but right now it's green and glowing. Beautiful. You know, I feel like every time I'm about to start talking about the story again, I'm like, oh, I don't mean to get so deep, you guys. But I guess I do. I've been thinking about the channel a lot with my free time and being away from the bike for a minute. And I'd really like to do some incorporation of like some more vloggy style stuff off the bike. I travel, I do some pretty good trips, especially coming up in the next few months, and I feel like all you get to see a lot of the time is me introing the video and then me on the bike. But I'm eating these beautiful dinners and checking out some local pubs and eating at some good restaurants, you know, all the stuff you do when you travel. And a lot of that stuff comes with research. And I do just as much research on that stuff as I do about the trail. So let me know if you're interested in some stuff like that. Obviously, I'm going to be on the bike, but there might be some videos here and there where I'm not. When I'm on a travel, it's like a travel vlog. You know, like places that I would like to explore and recommend to you. I've done a couple like that. The feedback was pretty good, but I'd really like to incorporate that into more of a steady stream on this of my content. All right, you guys, this is one of my favorite places on the Fullerton Loop. Sometimes I come on this ride just to hang out here for 10-15 minutes, and it's Laguna Lake. And haven't gotten appreciation station in a minute. Like I said before, sometimes it's not about the jumps, the cardio, it's about where the bike brings you. And it brought me here today with you guys. I'm thankful to be back on my bike. I'm thankful for you guys watching, thankful for your support, and I'm thankful for this beautiful view and that duck right there. And there's some chickens over there you can't see, but let's get one, you guys. A little appreciation station. It's been a few weeks. Onward and upward, people. Another part of the loop over here, little drop-in single track. You can skip that little section in the climb and just come up here. Thanks to whoever built these, they're pretty fun. All right, you guys, I'm gonna stop blabbering. I got a little bit more of the ride to do. I'm just gonna tune out, not talk, shut the video camera off. and go into a little bit of a more of a chill state. Just relax. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for caring. Please share below if you've had anything similar go on with you in your life, or if you want to chat about it or ask questions. I think a lot of us can relate to this kind of subject, even though it doesn't come up on a mountain bike channel very often. It's part of life, man. It's part of it. It's all part of it. My life, this bike, these trails, I'm trying to give it to you in a very straightforward way as I go through it. So I don't know where I'll be next week or the week after. Hopefully I'll see you guys back here. Over and out.